Hey team, how we doing today? This is Coach Dana Cavalea checking in with you on the Becoming a Champion podcast. So, today I want to talk about the word done. And as I've said in my previous few pods, we're focusing on one word. And in a world where there's so much noise and there's so much traffic and everything's always coming at us, I think it's important that we break things down to the most simple form. And when you think of one word and one word at a time, it is a little bit more palatable for all of us, where you could be sitting, whether it's in class or, as you're driving or at work, and you could just have that word pop into your head, done. So today's word is done. And I came up with today's pod actually after a workout I had last week, and I really did not want to go train that day. I didn't want to be a part of the class. I had a bit of a sour attitude. Actually, I was really chapped and pissed, and I was thinking of walking out and not doing the class. And I realized, why am I here? Why am I even doing this class? And I started to think about my goals and what I was trying to achieve, and how I wanted to get back to my playing weight of high school and college, and how good I felt and how much energy I would have as a result of being back at that weight. And I'd have less pain in my back, or less aches and pains in my knees. And I started to think about the word done, and I said, you know what, this training session is going to take you an hour. 1 hour. So as soon as the clock starts, you're already going to go from 60 to 59 minutes. And then 58, 57, and it's just a countdown. So as that clock counts down, you're getting closer and closer and closer to being done. And some people will say, well, you're supposed to enjoy the process, you're supposed to love what you do. And you know what? In life, you can't always love what you do. Not everything is going to be a vacation and a walk in the park. And I believe we're very confused today because we think everything's supposed to be easy. Again, we're not in a manual labor culture that we were in years ago with grit and hard work. And we leverage technology much like I'm doing now. In order to get a message out years ago, you used to have to either use the power of the press, with PR and getting the interviews, or you'd have to go really hit the pavement and go classroom by classroom, workplace by workplace, and locker room by locker room to get a message out. But the fact that we don't grind as much because we're over leveraging, I believe, technology, we want it to feel easy, and we want it to feel simple. And whenever there's any sort of abrasion or any sort of friction or resistance, we want to go the other way. And when I had to focus on being done, I said, man, I can grind this out for an hour. And I actually felt tougher, and I felt more inspired and motivated, and then I was starting to get a little more gritty each and every time that I did this class. This one day in particular, I was really sour on it. But where are you feeling the same way? That workout where you're like, you know what, I'd rather sleep and stay in bed today. Or, you want to grab that piece of pie or piece of cake. Meanwhile, that you're trying to train for a marathon, or you're training, or your season's coming up, or you're just trying to improve your overall, physique and body, and, get yourself better. And I did a blog the other day and a pod on discipline, and I believe discipline and done, go together as well. You got to be disciplined to your process, and you got to focus on getting things done. And when you get it done, how good do you feel when you're done? When that hour is behind you, or that assignment is behind you, or that project is behind you, or that conversation that may be uncomfortable is behind you. You feel great. So face things head on, and where you feel resistance, push through. Push through. There's going to be times where you're going to have to quit because it's not the best thing to keep going. But for just resistance, for activities that lay between you and your goals, you're going to have to really push through to get there. And you're going to have to make that magic happen, as I like to say. And focusing on done is one way to do it. What do I have to do? How quickly can I get it done, but also being effective and detailed? And how will I feel when I'm done? So focusing on done is an awesome, awesome thing. And then you get rewarded, because then after done, you get your rest and you get to chill and you get to do whatever it is that you need to do. But don't avoid doing things because it may seem like an elephant in front of you. And another analogy I like to use with my athletes, even with my, coaching clients is, guys, it's like chopping down a tree. And the trunk and base of that tree may be 5 feet in diameter. But if you just go today and start chopping a little bit with the axe, chop, 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 it may take you 6 months, it may take you 6 years, but eventually that oak tree will fall to the ground. And that's your victory. That's your done. So you need to focus on done. Think about what it is you want to do and go out there and do it. Because in order to achieve anything great in your life, it's going to take work. And I know, again, when you go online and you scroll, and whether you're in business or you're in sports, everybody's marketing to you the easy way. And they're marketing to you because marketing is meant to draw you in. And a message of, hey, you could do it the lazy way here and it's going to be easy, but you still get it done. Or you could grind it out to get it done is over here. Which one are you going to choose? The reality is, though, only one of those actually works. I've been scammed a lot of times trying to take the easy way out, and I realized very quickly there is no easy way. And when you talk to successful entrepreneurs, successful athletes, and successful people, you realize that life is a grind, and it's going to take a lot of effort. You're going to have to dig in, and you're going to have to get your hands dirty if you want to make some magic happen. I speak with a lady down in Florida quite often, and she's about 90 years old, and she's told me, Dana, it doesn't get easier, it only gets harder, but you need to get better. And that's really what it comes down to. It doesn't get easier, it only gets harder, and you need to get better. Jim Rohn is a motivational speaker from years ago, and he used to say the same things. It doesn't get easier, you just get better. And that's what we have to get you to understand. Every day we're battling through this thing. It's a journey, and we're trying to put more tools on our belt and get ourselves better at dealing with the stressors of life, sport, and business that come at us. And it's going to be there. If you're an athlete and you're in a down streak, or you're a coach and you're in a long-term losing streak, or you just got your job, you lost your job, what are you going to do to get your spot back? Or a spot somewhere else? How are you going to show your value? What are you going to do? But if you focus on each individual step and going through the grind and focusing on that feeling that you're going to have when you get it done, you're going to feel pretty amazing. And this reminds me of myself being a kid in New York, and my father used to have a hand mower for us. We used to live on an acre of property, and my dad used to send us out with the hand mower, me and my brother. We'd take turns, and we'd have to go cut that acre of property by hand with the hand mower. And he'd come out after we were done, and he'd make sure that all the lines were straight and there was no grass sticking up. And if any grass was sticking up, we'd have to go cut the entire lawn the opposite way, because when you do a job, you have to do it well, and you're supposed to do it well. And there's only one way to do it. In my dad's mind, there was only one way to do it, and that's the right way. And when I speak of this word done, I think about the satisfaction I used to have when I would finish the lawn for the first time. And then all of a sudden, Pops would come around and he'd say, you missed a spot, you missed a spot, you missed a spot. And I'd have to go cut it the opposite way. Now, when you cut an acre of property by hand, that's a lot of time to think about, doing it right. What if I would have done it right the first time? I'd be done already. And then when you get it done that second time, you actually feel even better, because now you know that it's perfect. But while you're doing it, it definitely sucks. But I want you to just take the time and think about the word done. Done, done, done. Get it done. Meaning do the work. Get it done. And if you have that mentality and you take that mentality with you every single day, you will be a champion in the end. And you're going to be known as somebody that gets it done. And there's no greater title in the world to have than being somebody that gets it done and being known as a guy or gal that gets it done. That's power. That's what it's all about. Being a perfectionist, holding yourself to a high standard, not being lazy, and getting it done. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on getting it done, the power of done, focusing on done. And if you know somebody that could relate to a message like this or needs to hear a message like this, please share it. We're on iTunes now, Stitcher. I'm also uploading everything to YouTube, so you can stare at my mug while you listen to it. But anyway, I thank you guys. I thank the team for coming out and listening each day to everything I put out, and getting on the blog at danacavalea.com, getting the blog at 6:02 in the morning to start your day with a bang. And each day I try to focus on mindset, training, fueling, recovery. I'll give you something new every day to help your performance get to that next level. So we got a book coming out in just a few months, Becoming a Champion in Life, Sports, and Business. So I hope you guys check that out when you have the chance. This is Coach Dana Cavalea signing out, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.